Okay guys, so if you're planning to build a website where you can sell made-to-order items, then this is the right solution for you, and it will work with any type of product. So let's say, for instance, if you run a jewelry store and you're selling rings, so this ring could come maybe in silver or gold. Then you could offer engraving services as well, perhaps, in which case you should be able to add the text to be engraved. And then the visitors could select which stone to add to the ring. So maybe a blue sapphire or a red one or a green one, whatever really, And again, this will work with any type of product you have for sale. Okay, so this is the website we're going to build today. So this is for a printing company, but again, this can apply to any type of business and type of industry and the type of product that you're selling. So if you scroll on the page, you can see we're going to sell postcards here. We're going to sell posters. We'll have a few testimonials as well, a coupon code, and then our footer section. So let's have a look at our product. So let's say the postcards here. Okay, so let's click on this. And as you can see, that postcard here is available in different thickness of paper with a different type of texture and also different sort of finish. So if we were to select a different type of paper texture, as you can see, the image will change at the same time just to show you the type of paper. And then we're going to use Conditional Logic as well. So if you were to select a paper weight over 300 grams, or let's say 400, as you can see, it will add an extra feature here, which is a creasing. Would you want creasing or not? And this will only display with the 400 gram paper. And when it comes to product options, you can select among all these different options here. As you can see, we have checkboxes, radio button, drop-down select, text input, file upload, image, date, color swatches, even formula if you wanted to. As you can see, this is a very comprehensive solution. And again, like I said, this will apply to any type of situation and any type of product that you have for sale. Okay, so I hope you're as excited as I am. So let's get started. Okay guys, so the very first step is to take care of our hosting and domain name registration. So for this, simply click on the very first link in the description below where it says Get Hosting Here. Now, it's important that you use that link because it will bring you to a co-branded page that we have with Hostinger, which will give you access to 75% discount. And if you use the coupon code MrWeb at checkout, you'll get an extra 10% discount on top. So simply click on this link here. And this is going to bring you to this page. And again, this is a co-branded page that we have with Hostinger. So special prices, obviously, special discounts. If you scroll down the page, you'll find different plans. So as you can see, start from only $2.99 per month. Next one up is $3.99, and then the cloud startup is $9.99. So what's the difference between those three? Well, basically is the performances and the speed. So as you can see, this one is standard performance, this one is up to 5 times faster, and this one up to 10 times faster. So now it depends on the amount of resources that you need. If you're only running one website, this one is absolutely fine. Now, if you're running multiple websites and also maybe e-commerce website, you might want to consider either this one or this one, depending on the amount of traffic and visitors that you're expecting every month. And also with Hostinger, you get a lot of free stuff. You get free SSL certificate, free email, and also a free domain name. These options normally are paid with most web hosting companies. So in this case, you get those for free as well. And if you go for the business plan here, you get free CDN as well, Content Delivery Network. Now, obviously, they provide you with daily backup and weekly backup. As you can see, the entry level here is weekly backup, so they will back up your website once a week. If you go for the $3.99 one, you'll get a daily backup as well. So every day you have a full backup of your website. So feel free to select any of those plans. You can start with the $2.99 one, and you can always upgrade to the next one up later down the line if you need more resources. So let's get started with this one here. So click on Add to Cart. And from here, you're going to select your billing cycle. So as you can see, it goes from 12 months to 48 months. Obviously, the longer your billing cycle, the more you're going to save. As you can see, it's $2.99 per month, but here you're going to save $432. Here, $216, and right here, $108. So what does that mean exactly? Well, basically, if you lock in your price at $2.99 for a year, after that, you will renew at $9.99. If you select 24 months, you will renew at $7.99, and 48 months, you will renew at $6.99. So basically, for 4 years, you're going to pay $2.99 per month instead of $6.99. So feel free to select any of those. So let's continue on with the 48 months deal here, okay? So we scroll down the page, you can create your account, you select your payment method, and right here, we have a quick overview of how much it's going to cost you. So as you can see here, the normal price should be $707 down to $176. So this is a massive saving, isn't it? Now I also have a coupon code for you. So here, type in MrWeb. So there you go. And as you can see, the normal price $176.53, including taxes. Now let's apply this. And as you can see now, it's only $158.88. So that means that you get to enjoy a massive discount of 78%. And then after this, proceed to checkout. And now you can log into your account. So let's do this together. So simply enter your email address and password and let's log in. So this is your Hostinger dashboard, and right here on top, as you can see, you can claim your free domain. So for this, let's click on claim domain. And right there, you're going to type the domain name that you want to register. So for instance, your domain name, okay? And then select your extension. As you can see, you have .in for India, .me for personal websites, .com, this is the most popular one, obviously. You also have .net, .xyz, .help, .host. So select the one that suits your type of business. So let's go ahead with .com as an example here. And then we're going to check the availability. So let's click on this. And as you can see, this one is already taken. So you might have to look for a different variation of your domain name. So in our case here, we're just going to try to register Learn with Mr. Web, okay, as a .com. So again, let's check the availability. So this one is available. So we're going to claim our domain, okay? So let's do this together. So let's claim our domain. And then by law, you have to enter your details here, obviously, you know, because you have to know who's registering the domain name. So let's click on the next step. So I'm going to fill this out very quickly. So there you go. And now finish registration. Very good. So now let's click continue. Very good. As you can see, the email verification is pending at the moment. So basically go to your mailbox and click on the link that's inside that email. So we have done that already. So now we can refresh. Very good. As you can see, now it's active and verified as well. Now we can set up our server. So we go back home here. So depending on which plan you purchase, maybe premium, business or cloud, you will see one of those sections here, okay? So when it's not set up yet, you will have a button like this one just next to it. So again, it could be premium, business or cloud. Either of those is absolutely fine, you know? So now click on setup. Now we're going to click on start now. And right here, you're going to go through a few different questions. It's like a setup wizard, basically, you know, to help you set up your hosting. So as you can see, you have a few questions here. What are you creating the website for? So you can select either of those, or you can skip altogether. I would advise that you skip this one altogether, you know. Right here, what are you going to do? Are you going to create a new website or migrate a website? Well, in our case, we're going to create a new website. So select this. So do you want to build this with AI or ourselves? Well, we're going to build this ourselves. So just skip this step altogether now. And you're going to select your domains. So normally it should show up automatically, but if you have more than one domain registered, you might click on the drop-down menu and select the one that you want to assign to this, and then click select. And now right here, you're going to select your server. So this should be normally the nearest either to you or to your target audience. So let's say if you're based in United States, selling to people in the United States, well, you select either of those two here. But maybe you're based in the United States, maybe selling exclusively in Europe, in which case you might select one of those servers here, okay? So because we're based in Ireland here, we can select either Netherlands or maybe United Kingdom. So United Kingdom should be nearest. So let's click on this and now we click change. Very good. And now we're going to finish our setup. So as you can see, now it's taking care of everything. We can see the progress line. So now as you can see, it's installing the SSL certificate for us automatically. Very good. So we're done already. As you can see, well done. You are ready. So from here, you can either go and see your website. So we don't need that because we haven't built anything yet. So we're going to go back to our control panel. Okay, so let's click on manage site. There you go. And we're back to our dashboard now. So now from here, we're going to create an email address and also we're going to install WordPress on our server. So first, as you can see, it says free email setup is not finished. So let's click on the manage here. Very good. So as you can see, I have paid plans as well. I would go with the free one. Absolutely no problem with this, you know. So I'll click select. So let's create our email address. So maybe info@. You're going to enter your password and then a recovery email just in case. I'm just going to put hello@mrweb.tv. Okay. And now we're going to create our new account. And there you go. As you can see, we have a new email address now and you can access it using the webmail. So if you click on this, you can open this in a new tab. So this is your email address. Enter your password as well and click login. And there you go. As you can see, this is your mailbox, basically inbox and sent and spam and archive. So basically you can access all your emails immediately from here. And now we can go back to our dashboard. Okay. So from here, we're going to install WordPress. So right here, you have website. Click on this, expand. And as you can see, you have WordPress and auto installer. This is the one we need to click on. Okay. So click on auto installer. And for this type of project, we need WordPress, but also WooCommerce. So the one we're going to select here is this one because we're going to build an e-commerce platform. Okay. We need WooCommerce installed as part of our main plugins. So we're going to click on this, select. So first, let's enter the website title. So maybe Learn with Mr. Web. Make sure the admin email is correct and then create a username and a password as well. Now we move to the next step. So right here, you can select if you want automatic updates or not. So it is advised to use this option here, update only to minor version, but that's really up to you. If you want to automatically update to the newest version, you can select this one here altogether. Again, that's really up to you, okay? And then click install. And there you go, guys. You can see this is done already. So we have everything installed, Lightspeed Cache, Object Cache, SSL certificate. So now you can edit your website by clicking on this button here. So I'll click on that, it will open up in a new tab, and this will give us access to our WordPress dashboard. Very good. So welcome to our WordPress dashboard. So the very first step is to install the two main plugins that will allow us to build such a website. And for this, we're going to use Barn 2. So the first plugin is called WooCommerce Product Options. So what does this one do? Well, as you can see, we have an example here by the side. So let's say you're selling jewelry, and this ring, for instance, might come in silver and gold. Maybe you offer engraving as well, and maybe different gemstones as well. You can maybe select sapphire or something like this, So if you scroll down, as you can see, you can use different types of fields to customize your products. You can have checkboxes, maybe drop-down menu, numbers, paragraph, image button, color swatches. So as you can see, it's a very comprehensive solution indeed. And you can also add maybe images like a pattern if you are offering maybe different types of clothing or something like this. You can define if the cost is added cost, if it's a flat fee or a percentage. You have your label. So again, like I said, this is a very comprehensive solution. So we'll go through all these options together later in this tutorial. And we're also going to use WooCommerce product table. And this one is a fantastic tool that will greatly help your visitors. So as you can see, instead of going from one product page to the other, they're all displayed as a list, which makes it much easier for your visitors to order multiple products all at once. So if you scroll on the page, we have a few examples here. So as you can see, this is your product name, this is the description, you can have the reviews, the price, and you also have variable products, so you could have maybe color, size, etc. And again, this makes it very easy for your customers to order multiple products all at once, and this will increase your conversion rate as well. So these are the two plugins we're going to use today. So let's check the pricing, okay? So let's go back to this one and let's buy this plugin. And as you can see, one plugin, so product options, this costs 99 euros. Now, if you go back here, as you can see, they have an offer, 2 plugin bundle, and these are the ones we're going to use. So the product options plus the product table, specially discounted price 149 euros for one website, and that's basically all we need. Now Barn2 has kindly provided us with a 30% discount only available to our audience by clicking on the link in the description below. So all you have to do now is basically purchase this bundle, and then I'll meet you back in the WordPress dashboard. Okay, so let's install and activate our 2 plugins. So for this, we go to plugins, add new, upload plugin, choose file. So let's start maybe with the product option, open, install, activate plugin. Very good. So now we have to enter the license key. So just copy and paste. Very good. So next, and then finish setup. Very good. So now we go back to our main dashboard and let's install the second one. So again, we go to plugins, add new, upload, choose file. And this time is product table, open, install, and activate. And again, we have to enter the license key. So Control-C, Control-V, and then next. And now you need to define where you want to display your product tables. Now we can always use shortcuts as well and create a separate page, or you can define any of those. So this could be your shop page, the product search results. So if you search for a product, the result page will display as a table. Your product category, so specific categories will only display as a table, the product tags and attributes. So I would go maybe with the main shop page perhaps and the product search results for now, okay? So let's click next. And now which type of information do you want to display? As you can see, by default, it's image, name, summary, price, and buy, which is absolutely fine, but you can always change that afterwards, don't worry too much. So click next. And how do you want your add to cart button to be? Just cart button, check boxes, or cart button and check boxes? So let's enable both at the moment, okay? And how do you want to display your variations? Show as a drop-down list, or maybe show one variation per row. So again, it's just a matter of taste and preferences, So let's go maybe with a drop-down list and let's click next. So that's it. We're basically done now, okay? So next again. And finish setup. That's it. So we go back to our WordPress dashboard now. Very good. So as you can see on top, we have an error message. So WooCommerce has detected that some of your active plugins are incompatible. Okay, so let's review the details here. So what's the error message? Well, basically the high performance order storage, so HPOS, shouldn't be activated. So we can disable this. So just follow this link here, okay? And right here on top, as you can see, high performance order storage recommended. So we're going to disable this and select WordPress post storage legacy, okay? And then save changes. Very good. And just to make sure that everything is okay, we go back to products now and we go to product tables. And as you can see, the error message is gone. So this is sorted out. So as you can see by the side as well, we have the Lightspeed cache. So while we're working on the website, we're going to disable that as well, okay? So we go to plugins and locate this one, Lightspeed cache, deactivate for now. That's very good. So, and at the end of the website, once everything is completed, you can re-enable it. Basically, it's going to speed up the website and the loading time. Okay, so now let's have a look at the front end. So if you hover on the name of your website, visit site, right click, open in a new tab. And this is basically what the website looks like at the moment. So very basic, but don't worry, we're going to install our own theme now. So for this, we go back to our dashboard, we go to appearance, themes, and then add new. And for this, we're going to use Astra. So this one here, so it should be in your recommended. If it doesn't show here, you can always type Astra in the search bar, and there it is. Okay, so if you hover on top, as you can see, you have the install button, click on this, and now activate. And once activated, you should have an extra tab here by the side, Astra, okay? So you go to the dashboard, and now we're going to install our starter template. So our starter template is going to save us a lot of time. So let's click on this, install and activate. So these are pre-made template, basically, you know, ready-made templates that we can use. And it's going to, like I said, it's going to make our life much easier. And now we need to select our page builder. So the easiest one to use here is Elementor. It's a very easy drag and drop page builder. So this is the one we're going to select for this tutorial. Okay, so let's click on this. And right there, as you can see, if you scroll down the page of all the different ready-made templates that you can use. So as you can see, some of them are premium, so these are paid version, and all the others are free. So feel free to select any of those that fit your type of industry and the type of product that you're selling, obviously, you know. So today we are building a made-to-order type of website. So this could be maybe jewelry, maybe you need engraving, this could be arts and craft, or any of them, obviously, maybe furniture as well, you know, or maybe you're selling t-shirts, maybe you have them in different colors, different pattern, and maybe also you do embroidery or upload logos and things like this, you know. So let's go ahead with something maybe related to printing, because printing often comes in different types of paper. Maybe you have gloss, maybe different sizes as well, you know. So we have this one here, Earth Store. So if you're not too sure which one, you can always click on it and you have a quick preview. As you can see, this is our shop. This is our different products. If you're not too sure, again, click on it and it will open up the other page. And I think that looks pretty neat, simple and clean, you know, design. And this applies to any type of website, obviously, because this is a multi-purpose type of store. And of course, this will work for any type of business, you know, like I said. So what we can do is just basically install this one. So we're going to continue now, and then right here you can select your color palette. So obviously this is going to give you a different feel, and also based on your branding. So if your logo has red, maybe use this one. If your logo uses blue, use this one, and so on. So I'm just going to go with the default one for now, and then you can select the font that you want as well. And obviously a font will give a different feel. So if you try this one, as you can see, totally different feel, you know, all together. So select a font that suits your type of business and the type of product that you're selling. So I'm just going to go with the default one here at the moment, okay? So let's click continue. And right here, all you have to do is click submit and build my website. And there you go, as you can see now, it started up. It's not going to take too long, maybe 30 seconds altogether. Very good, as you can see, this is done. Congratulations. And now we can go back to our WordPress dashboard. So click on this icon here, exit to dashboard, and then confirm. Okay, so first we can dismiss this message here. And this is work in progress, so we'll leave that for now, okay? So let's have a quick look at the front end. So let's refresh our page. Very good, as you can see now the template has been imported, and also a few demo product as well. So let's have a look at our shop. And since we have the WooCommerce product table installed, as you can see, it is displaying as a table, obviously, you know. So clearly here, as you can see, the summary here is a bit too long, so we can change that as well. So let's take care of this first, and then we can configure everything else. So let's go back to our dashboard, and this time we go to WooCommerce, settings, we go to products, and then product table. Very good. And as you can see here, we decided to display images, name, summary, price, and then buy. And we can limit the description length to maybe 15 words. So let's reduce that to maybe 10 words. And let's have a read here. So let's open this in a new tab. And instead of the summary, I think we're going to display the description instead. So these are all the available columns you can display. So you have SKU, ID, name, description, summary, date, and so on. So this is the one we're going to use here. So Control C. And then instead of summary, I'm going to put this one here, okay, description. And then scroll down at the bottom of the page and then save changes. And now let's go back to our front end, go back to our shop. Very good. And as you can see, that looks a lot better already. And obviously you can access any of those by clicking on the image or the product name, obviously, you know, and this will bring you to the single page. Very good. So as you can see, this is a postcard. So now you can offer this maybe with different layouts, maybe different images, maybe different types of paper, different types of thickness or weight, and so on and so on. So let me show you how you can customize this using the product options. And for this, we go back to our WordPress dashboard. And right here, we're going to go to our products. So as you can see, I have products and then product options. So this is what we need to do first. We need to create all our different options. So as you can see, for this, we need to add option groups. So let's create one together. Let me show you, okay? So we need to give it a name. So when it comes to printing, you most likely have to select the paper weight, maybe the texture of the paper as well, and maybe the finish. Do you want it gloss, or do you want it laminated or not? So let's create those three together as an example, okay? So the first one would be the weight. So do you want to display it yes or no? So obviously we want to do that. And do you want to display this globally on all products or only on specific products? Well, in our case here, we're just going to apply this to postcards and not posters, okay? So we're going to show this for specific categories of products. Now you can include this per specific products or categories. So this is where you can select, okay? So let's say if you wanted to apply this to only postcards, okay? So let's put post here. So you can see you have posters and also postcards. So you can either select those 4 products here on their own. So you can clear this. Now let me show you the other option is to select by categories. So if you have specific categories, you can apply this just to postcards and not to posters. Either way is the same, okay? So in this case, we're just going to apply this to postcards. And then you can apply the same rule, but instead of inclusions, it's exclusion. So you can exclude specific products or exclude specific categories, okay? And then we can add our options. So in this case, what will it be? Well, we're going to type the name here again. So is the paper weight. So in this case, what type of field should we select? Well, normally you can only select one at a time. So checkboxes is basically multi-select. Radio button is only one, and so is drop-down select, you know. So let's go maybe with drop-down select in this case, and we're going to put our different labels. So these are the different options you can select. So let's go maybe with 250 gram. We're going to add 300 gram, and maybe heavier, maybe 400 gram all together. And then you have the type of cost. So in our case here, let's pretend that the 250 GSM comes at no extra cost, but 300 and 400 are more expensive, okay? So here we're going to select no cost. And for this one, we're going to add an extra cost. So as you can see, a few different options. You have flat fee, quantity-based fee, percentage increase, and percentage decrease. So in our case, which one is the best suited? Well, I suppose it's probably percentage increase. Because when you sell postcards, usually buy them maybe per 100, maybe 250, maybe 500 at a time. So quantity-based, that's going to be hard to calculate. This is more likely if you're selling maybe watches or t-shirt or something like this, you know. When every t-shirt you add, you can maybe charge an extra 50 cents or maybe an extra euro altogether. So in our case, we're going to select percentage increase. So what's the percentage? Well, let's say maybe 1.5% for this one. And the 400 GSM, maybe 2.25% increase altogether. And then right here, as you can see, you have toggle switches. This is basically to select the default setting. So we're going to go probably for the 251 by default, and these would be extra charge, okay? So I'll scroll down the page. You can put a description here if you wanted to. Is this required? Yes or no? Well, in our case, obviously, you have to select the weight of the paper. You do this, yeah. And then you even have advanced settings as well. So this is basically to use conditional logic. So before we can use this, we have to save those changes first. So let's do that. Very good. So now we can open this again. Scroll down the page, enable the advanced settings, and now we can activate the conditional logic. Now, clearly to use the conditional logic, we need different options and ways of comparing things, you know. So obviously we only have one option created at the moment. So what we need to do is to create more than one before we can use that. So let's move ahead to the next one now, okay? So let's add a new one. So we go to the option groups. Let's add a new group. And this time, let's add maybe the texture. Obviously, paper comes in different types of textures. You can have rough paper, maybe smooth one, gloss paper, and so on, you know. And you want to display that in the front end. And again, we're going to apply this to only our postcards, okay? So post, select postcard. And then here we're going to add our options. Now in this case, okay, we put the title again, sorry. And then in this case here, we're going to use this as an image. We're going to show the different types of textures, okay? So what is this going to be like? Well, clearly this is an image button, okay? So we select this one and then we're going to add our labels. So let's add the image first. So I've uploaded 3 images already. As you can see, 3 different types of paper all together. So we could have the first one here, okay? So let's select this one. So let's give it a name. So perhaps white grainy, okay? So does this come at an extra cost or no? Maybe it's a flat fee for this one. Let's say the white one is free, okay? So let's add another one. Again, we can select the image. So we go with this one, the beige one. So maybe this is beige and then grainy as well, okay? And this one might come at an extra fee. So percentage increase, so maybe 1.25%. And let's add our last one. So this could be this one here, okay? Perhaps brown cardboard, okay? And this one comes at a percentage increase of maybe 2.25%. And now we can select the default one, which should be maybe the white one here, okay? And again, you can add a description. Now, how do you want to display this? Just the image only or the label and the image as well? So in this case, if you select both label and image, they will see this. It will say white grainy plus the image, beige grainy with the image, and brown cardboard with the image. So if the image is self-explanatory, maybe you don't need the label. This is really up to you. I'm going to add both so you see what it looks like, okay? So the label position, full overlay and hover, partial overlay, above the image, below the image. In our case, we're going to go with above the image, okay? So is this one required? Yes, we will need this. And again, you can use this advanced settings as well to enable conditional logic. So let's save our group here, okay? And let's move ahead to the last one. So let's add a last one. So this one is the type of finish. So we could have matte and glossy maybe, okay? So we're going to display this. And again, we're just going to have this for our postcards. Very good. And let's add our options. So which one will it be? Well, in this case, maybe we select a radio button. It's only one or the other, okay? So again, finish. And let's add our labels. So we'll have matte at no extra cost and maybe gloss finish, okay? And this would be at an extra cost of 1% perhaps, okay? And by default, it will be matte. And again, we can enable the advanced settings if we wanted to. In our case, we just leave it at that for now, okay? So this is required obviously as well. So save changes. And let's go back to our group. So there you go. So these are all the options available for our postcard. So you have to select the weight, the texture, and then the finish. And now that this is done, let's go back to our front end. So we have postcard V1. So as you can see, no options initially. So let's refresh our page. And there you go, guys. As you can see, now we have the description. You can select the paper weight, the texture, and also the type of finish. So let's customize this product together. So let's select the paper weight. So maybe 300 grams. And then we can select our texture. So I'm going to select this one here, the beige grainy. And maybe I want this in gloss as well. And as you can see, now the price has been adjusted accordingly. So now it's $24.89 for this package. So very nice. So that works absolutely great. So let's have a look at our shop page as well. And right here, as you can see, all the different options are displayed immediately. And again, we can customize this as well based on our own preferences. So at the moment, as you can see, I have the title here, the name on top, the label basically, and also the extra cost. So maybe you don't want that, you know, or maybe you want to keep it simple. So we can change this again together. And for this, all we have to do is go back to our product options. So we go to the texture. Let's edit this again, scroll down the page. So first, we might reduce the image size altogether. You know, this is maybe a little bit too big, especially when we go to the shop page. As you can see, this is oversized. So let's try to reduce that a little bit. Maybe let's say 62 pixels. So scroll down the page, save changes. So let's go back to the front end and let's reopen our single page, see what it looks like. So that looks a lot better already in smaller sizes like this. Now, you may have noticed that those fonts here are a little bit too big, you know, we can't read that properly. So we can change that directly from here. We're going to use a bit of CSS code, but don't worry, it's very easy done, you know. So simply right click on this, okay, and then inspect if you're using Google Chrome. And this is your span class, okay? As you can see by the size, you have the font size that says 1.5 rem. So if I untick this, as you can see, the font size is much smaller, easier to read. So what we need to do is basically reduce that to something else. So let's try maybe 0.5 rem, okay? So what we need to do now is basically select the whole section here all together and basically highlight this, then Control C. And now we go back to our backend here. And this time we're going to go to Appearance, Customize. So I'm just going to open that in a new tab, okay? Just like this. Scroll down and you have Additional CSS. Now right here at the bottom, we're going to add the code we just copied, okay? Control V. And you're going to remove the others. So I'm going to remove the color and remove front weight as well. So remove those two. There you go. We're just going to keep this one here. And that's basically it, okay? So publish. Let's go back to the front end, make sure everything is working fine. Let's refresh. And there you go. So this is working now. And that looks a lot more professional indeed. Let's check with the shop page as well. And there you go. As you can see, everything is matching up properly. Okay, so this is working great. Now let me show you how you can implement the conditional logic. So let's say when you order postcards here, if you were to order a heavier paper, maybe 400 GSM, maybe the paper has to be creased so it looks neat and professional. In which case, if you were to select 400 GSM, maybe we're going to display an additional field here, okay? So in which case, we're going to use the conditional logic. So let's go ahead with this. So we go back here to our product options. And obviously, this one will be linked to the weight. So now we can edit this one again. So as you can see, this is our drop-down select. So we added the weight. Now we're going to add an additional option, okay? And this one will be called creasing, okay? And in this case, let's keep it simple. It's either yes or no. So we're going to use a radio button and we're going to put our options. So the first option is no. And the second one is yes, we require creasing. And let's say the cost is identical. So by default is no. And then we scroll down the page, save those changes. And now we can use the advanced settings and enable the conditional logic. So first we need to decide if we want to show or hide the field. In our case, we're going to show it if any of the following matches, okay? So in our case, we're going to select the weight. And what's the point of comparison? Well, if the weight is equal, and we're going to select the value. So here it's 400 GSM. It's only in that case that we're going to show it because this is a heavy paper, obviously, you know? So we're going to save the changes. And let's go back to the front end and let's refresh, okay? Very good. So as you can see at the moment, we have 250 GSM. There is no creasing feature. Now, if I select 400 GSM, there you go. Creasing. Do you want creasing? Yes or no? There you go, guys. This is called conditional logic. Now, let me show you another cool feature. As you can see for the texture here, this is an image field. So once you click on any of those, basically the image at the moment remains the same, but you can have it in a way that if you click on any of them, the image will be different for every selection you make. So let me show you how this works. So here we go to texture, edit this again, scroll down the page, and we're going to enable the advanced mode. And right here, as you can see, you have the update main image. So if you take this one, save changes. Okay, now we're going to edit our product. So we go to all products. So open this in a new tab as well. And we're going to select our postcard V1. Now this is our main image that will display immediately when you open the product page. Now we're going to add our different images. Okay, so add product image gallery. And we're going to select all of these three. We're going to add them to the gallery. Now go back up here, update. Very good. And now normally if you refresh this page, every time you select one of those textures, the image will show as well. So let's disable this one. Let's take the cardboard. And there you go. As you can see, you have a different image every time you select those. So that's very handy, especially if you sell, I don't know, mugs of different colors, maybe t-shirts, or maybe fabric with different types of pattern. This will be displaying differently depending on which selection you make here, basically. So again, this is a very nice feature, especially for custom-made products. Now let's have a look at our shop page again. So as you can see by the side, we have a sidebar here, which is totally unnecessary. You don't need it. You know, we might as well expand this to the whole width of the page, which will look a lot better and less cramped up, obviously, you know. So for this, we go back to our dashboard again. We go to pages and locate the shop page. So there might be two of these like we have at the moment. Make sure you select the one that says shop page, just like this in bold next to it. So we can edit the page now. So don't click on edit with Elementor. Click on the simple edit, this one here, edit, okay. And now we go by the side and click on the Astra settings here. And we're going to select the container layout. We're going to select this one here, normal. And for the sidebar, we're going to select no sidebar at all. So click update, go back to your page, refresh. And let's make sure everything is displaying fine. And as you can see, this is a lot better indeed. So that looks very professional indeed, you know. Now from here, your visitors can select any items, add them to the cart in bulk and several of them at the same time, you see, as a bundle. Very good. So this is basically all sorted out for our product options and product table as well. Okay, so now let's configure WooCommerce, which is our main e-commerce plugin. So let's click on this together. And right here, as you can see, we have a setup wizard. So we're going to skip this all together. Let's select our region. So I'm based in Ireland myself. So I'm just going to select Ireland and Dublin. There you go. Go to my store. And as you can see, this is the setup wizard. You can follow these steps if you wanted to, but I always prefer the old-fashioned way. If you go to settings, and then we can start step by step, you know, go from one tab to the other, and everything will be done in just 5 minutes. So first here we have the store address. So type your address. So perhaps something like this, okay? And then where are you selling to? So are you selling to all countries? To all countries except for or specific countries? So let's say maybe you're based in the United States and you're selling maybe just to United States, okay? United States, select like this, and maybe United States and Canada as well. So you could add the two, and perhaps United States, Canada, and also Mexico, in which case you can add them just like that, okay? Now, shipping location, well, I would say normally ship to all the countries you sell to, unless you want to ship to all countries or ship to specific countries only. Well, technically speaking, like we said, if you're selling to Canada, Mexico, United States, you should only be shipping to those countries anyways, you know. And then you can set the default customer location. Now, are you registered for tax? If this is the case, tick this box here, and then we'll set the rate later on. So this could be VAT, this could be GST, maybe DIN, or whatever it's called in your country. So basically the local taxes, okay? So do you want to enable coupon codes? Perhaps this is a very nice marketing trick. Obviously, you know, you can do so. And then you can select your currency. So let's say if you're based in the United States, it will be US dollars, okay? So we're going to just select, United States dollar. There you go. There it is. Or whichever it is, obviously, you know, based on your location. And then you can set the thousand separator, the decimal separator, and number of decimals you want to display. So save changes. And now we're going to set up our taxes. So here, how are you going to enter the price? It will be entered with tax, so X tax. So as you can see here, price exclusive tax or inclusive of tax. Again, depending on your target audience, you know, if it's an end user, I would go with inclusive of tax. If it's professional B2B, maybe exclusive of tax, obviously, you know. And then right here we have, how will you display the price in the shop? Well, I suppose including tax. In our case here, we're aiming to B2C, so business to consumer. And that's basically it, okay? So save changes. And now we're going to set our rates. So right here, this is where you're going to add the percentage of VAT you want to add on top of taxes, okay? So insert a row. So right here, we type our country code. So maybe US, okay, for United States. And then you're going to put the rate. So I believe it's 10% in the United States. And I'm going to put 10% taxes right here, okay? So this will be displayed in the front end, obviously. Then we can insert another row, perhaps. So if you sell to Canada, we can select Canada, and then it will be 0% tax because it's export, okay? So export taxes, none. And then we're going to make Mexico as well, okay? Add Mexico, sorry. And then here we're going to put 0 because it's export as well. So there's nothing here. So it's not export taxes, it's just export, isn't it? Just like this, and then save changes. And then you can do the same for reduced rate and 0 rate as well, all together, okay? So then we go to shipping now. So we're going to add our shipping zones. So we're going to put here United States, okay? So we can limit this to specific regions. So as you can see, you have North America, Canada, and then and so on and so on. So you can have maybe North America. And we're going to add the shipping address, okay? So this, the shipping rate, sorry. So this is the flat rate, free shipping or local pickup. In our case, it'd be flat rate. And then we're going to add the price now. So you can edit and then could put the cost. Okay, so let's say maybe it's $9.99 to ship nationwide. So this is clearly one way of doing it. Now, maybe you're using USPS as a main delivery service. Maybe you're using DHL, maybe UPS, or maybe any of those courier companies, you know. You can integrate that here immediately as well. So for this, you'll have to add an extra plugin. So I'm just going to open this in a new tab, the plugin section, okay? And now we can add a new one. And what you do basically is to type WooCommerce. and then USPS as an example here, okay? So this could be DHL as well, or whichever courier company you're using. So let's install one together here. So you can look at the amount of active installation and the amount of reviews as well. So this one, 9,000 plus active installations. And this one, 800,000, but it's not simply for USPS, as you can see. This one is dedicated, okay? So install now and activate. And if you go back to our settings here, shipping settings here, with refresh, you will find a new tab now, USPS Simple. Click on this. And there you go. As you can see here, all the options related to USPS, and this will calculate the shipping cost automatically based on first class mail, second class mail, priority, and so on and so on. Okay, so this is basically one way of doing it. And again, you can add as many plugins as you want. So you could look maybe for TNT, you know, or whichever. And so WooCommerce and then DHL, for instance. Okay. And there you go. As you can see, now I have DHL services, and you can install that obviously and calculate the cost of shipping automatically using those plugins. Very good. So now let's move on to the payment section. So right here you can select all your payment methods. So you have the WooCommerce payment method, you have direct bank transfer, check payment, and cash on delivery. So I don't think this applies to this type of project. So this one here on top is to get paid online directly, but it's using Stripe, which is going to charge you a fee obviously. But also the developers of WooCommerce themselves will also charge you an extra fee. So on top of that, so this might turn out to be an expensive solution. So if you are using Stripe or PayPal, I'm going to show you another way to do it. So again, we go to the plugin section and we're going to add a new plugin. Okay, so here I'm going to look for WooCommerce and then put the name of the payment method. So let's say perhaps PayPal. Okay, very good. And again, as you can see, you can check by the amount of active installations and then install the one that's suitable for you. And now we're going to try with Stripe. Very good. And again, check at the amount of installations and then feel free to read the reviews as well. So for Stripe, I like this one personally here. I think it's a very nice one. So let's install this one together as an example. Okay. So install now and then activate. Very good. So now if you go back to our payment methods and refresh, as you can see now, all these payment methods have been added. And now we can connect this directly to our Stripe account. So all you have to do is click on it. And then from here, we go to API settings. And now we need to click on this to connect to our Stripe account. Okay, so let's click on this together. And then after this, simply follow the steps. And there you go, nice connecting up to our Stripe account. And it will be redirected in just a few seconds. And there you go, as you can see, it has fetched all the credentials for us automatically. And now we are ready to receive payments via Stripe. And then if you wanted to customize the emails as well, incoming emails, outgoing emails, you can have them here. So these are when you have a new order being created. If you click on this, as you can see, you will see the content of the email, and that's basically it. Okay, now you can change the content and customize this and tweak this around based on your own preferences and also based on your branding. Now, if you scroll down the page, as you can see, you have these colors here. So basically the email that will be sent to your customers and yourself, you can basically match this to your actually company colors, you know. So if you were to select this and maybe you're using red in your branding, well, you can change this to red. All you have to do after this is save changes, and the emails that will be sent out will have your company colors. And that's all for the WooCommerce settings. And finally, let me show you how you can customize your homepage. So like I said, this is a multi-purpose layout and template that we can use for any type of website. But again, obviously, you're going to change the background image here and also the content of the homepage itself. So let me show you very quickly how to do so. It's very easy done anyway. So we go back to our WordPress dashboard. We go to Pages and locate your homepage, which is this one, as you can see, front page Elementor. And now you're going to edit with Elementor. Okay, so first, let's take care of our hero section. So this is clearly the most important part of our homepage, since this is the first thing that our visitors will see. So you want to make sure that you convey the right message immediately so that your visitors know exactly what your website is about, okay? So first, let's change the background image. So if you hover on top, as you can see, you have a plus sign, those 6 dots, and the X sign here. So click on the 6 dots here. And as you can see, this will bring by the side all the different settings related to that section, okay? So as you can see, this is a section. And if you go to Style, right here, this is the image we have at the moment. So now we can replace that with something else. So I'll click on it. And I found a few here online, you know, so you might have to try a few different things. So let's try maybe with different printing presses here, you know, so select. And as you can see, that doesn't look good at all. So we can try something else, maybe this one here. This is better, but a bit too industrious, a bit too cold, I would say, you know. So let's try the next one. This one here, that looks a lot better indeed. So this could be suitable. Yeah, this is fine. And let's try the other one just in case. Okay, well, both of them are fine actually, you know. The only thing is that the contrast now between the text and the background is not that good, is it? So let's try the other one again just in case, you know. So select, very good. I think this one is more suitable. This one looks absolutely perfect. So now let's change our main heading and subheading. So those two here are very important, obviously, to let your visitors know what it is that you do and where you're based as well, and perhaps where you're delivering. So here, instead of Earth, if you click on it, basically you can change this. So I'm just going to put NY printing, so people know that you're based in New York and what is it that you do. But you do printing, okay? And here we have the multi-purpose store, so we can change this to something else perhaps. So you could say, let's see, maybe next day delivery in USA, Canada, and Mexico. So now anyone landing here with the background picture will know that you do printing, especially that it's in the name, NY printing, and also what to expect. Well, next day delivery in the US, Canada, and Mexico. So this cannot be any clearer than this. It's very clear indeed. Now you can change the font size and tweak everything. So let me show you how to do so. So this is your content and this is the styling. So right here you can change everything. You can change the font color. So as you can see at the moment is black, so we can keep it the way it is. This is fine. And you can change the typography. So this is all related to font. So you can select your font family, the font size. As you can see, you can make it bigger, smaller, exactly the way you want, basically, okay? So maybe just about here would be a lot better. It was too big before, you know? You can change the font weight, so you can try maybe something bolder, maybe thinner like we had, you know? Feel free to try and different combinations, basically, and see what works best, you know? So maybe I think the light one it's actually great, you know? And then you can transform this uppercase, lowercase, capitalize, or normal. You can have this in italic as well. You can change the decoration, the line height if you have more than one line as well, you know. So everything is related to this is located in the typography. And then we can add a shadow effect as well if you wanted to, but we could just leave it as is for now, okay? Well, this is absolutely not too bad at all. Now let's take care of this one here, okay? So as you can see, this is using our main color, which is green, and I think the contrast is absolutely fine. But let's try maybe the font as well, maybe thicker. So let's see, maybe the font weight, let's try black instead. Yes, okay, this is much better, I think, okay? So we can leave it as is. Now, if you want to increase the contrast between the two, let's click again on our section here, and you can always add a background overlay. So what is this? Well, basically it's like a shade of color in between that will be displayed on top of the image. So let me show you quickly. So if I was to select a color here, for instance, black, and then I'm going to change the opacity as well. As you can see, I have the opacity. So you can go from fully clear to fully opaque, and then you can play with that, you know, until you have the perfect contrast, basically, the perfect ratio. So maybe just about here, 0.3, that would be okay. And now you may try with a different font color. So instead of green here, let's try maybe white altogether, and there you go, and that pops immediately, you know. So I think we have it perfect here. We'll keep it like that. Okay, so let's move on to our call to action button here. So if you click on this, as you can see, this is a button, and at the moment it said shop now, which is absolutely fine the way it is. I think this is okay, and we're going to link that to our shopping page. Okay, so let's go back here. As you can see, if you click on this, this is our shopping page. So we can just copy this on top, so the URL, Control-C, and then paste it here instead of the hashtag Control-V. And don't forget to click update from time to time. So that's just done with the hero section. And just to make sure, let's go back to the home page now. And there you go. As you can see, our hero section looks very, very professional indeed. So let's try the call to action button. And this is bringing us exactly there to our shopping page. So perfect. So let's carry on with the next section here. So back to Elementor, let's scroll down. So where is this? As you can see, it's not displaying here. It's because it's using a short code. So if you click on this, as you can see, this is short code. And this is basically linked directly to WooCommerce. So how does a short code work? Well, it's very simple. As you can see, it's going to fetch 3 different products. So product limits 3, columns 3. So basically 3 products displayed across 3 columns. Order by ID, and order descending, and visibility is visible. So basically here, all you have to do is to change this. If you wanted to display 6 products, for instance, now as you can see, we're going to have 6 products across 3 columns. Now you could have maybe, let's say, 4 products and then 2 columns then, okay? Just like this. This is really up to you, depending on your taste and preferences, okay? So I'm going to put 3 and 6 for now, okay? And just like that. That's it. And then here it could be ascending or descending and ordered by. Well, you can remove this if you don't want any specific order. You can also delete some items. So now it's just basically random, okay? So either way is fine. So let me leave it by order by ID. And that's basically it. So after this, click update again. And this is our section here taken care of. So just to be sure, let's go back to the home page and refresh. And as you can see, now it's displaying 6 products all together. Now you can also display specific products per categories, per ID. If you wanted to show maybe posters here and then underneath maybe some postcards of different categories all together, you can do so as well. So I'm going to leave this in the description below, okay, the link to this page. It's from WooCommerce themselves on the WooCommerce.com website. So if you want to display your products, as you can see, this is products like we have here, so this is basic products. And then here is all your different settings. So what do we have? We have maybe featured products, we have sales product, best-selling products, recent products, product attribute, and top-rated products. And right here, you can set the different attributes, so limit, columns, paginations, order by. And here you have category, as you can see, okay? So what you could have is simply have maybe product limit 6, column 3. And then right here, if I remove all this, we could have category equals, and right here, you're going to put the number of the category, which is or the slug, okay? So where can you find? Well, simply go back to your dashboard, you go to your products, you go to categories, and let's see if I only wanted to display postcards or posters, hover on top, and right here at the bottom of the page, you can see this section, it says category ID equals 18. And this is what we need, okay? So here we're going to type 18 in between, and boom, just like that, as you can see, we only have postcards at the moment. So what you could do is maybe add a heading here, postcard, and then display postcards. And then you could do the same maybe with your poster. So maybe we can do that together as an example, okay? So maybe we could display only 3 postcards, okay? So we're going to put 3 or maybe 4 altogether, but smaller images, why not? Okay, we're going to put 4 here and across 4 different columns. There you go, just like this. So these would be our postcards, as you can see, category 18. So now right click on this on top of the section here, right click and then duplicate. As you can see now this has been duplicated. So click on this now. And now we're going to set the ID of category for the poster. So we're going to find this here. So we go again back here, we go to categories, we go to posters, hover on top, and now you can see ID 19. So we're going to change this here, the 18, we change this to 19. Very good. So as you can see here, we have postcards, and right here we have posters. And now we can insert inside our section here, we're going to add a heading. So let's add the heading. So now click on those dots. So this is going to bring us to all the elements. So the heading is here. So drag and drop just on top, okay? And right here, we're going to put the title. So these ones are postcards, okay? And then we're going to do the same here, okay? So we go back to this heading, drag and drop just on top. There you go. And now posters. There you go. So this is how you can have different categories displayed on your homepage with any products that you want. And again, I'm going to leave this link here right in the description below. Okay, so don't forget to update. So now we go back to our homepage and refresh and have a quick look. So let's go back to the top. So that looks very professional indeed. And as you scroll down, you have postcards for sales. You have posters for sales. That looks very, very professional, doesn't it? You see, you don't have to be too complicated. A website should remain simple, yet clean and professional. That's what makes it appealing to your visitors, you know. Very simple looking, yet very efficient as well. So let's move on to the next section here. So these are testimonials. So this is very easy to change. You know what our customers say. I would leave it exactly the way it is. I think that says exactly what you need to say. And all you have to do to edit them is basically click on those items here, either of those, okay? So here you're going to type the content of the testimonial. So you can fetch this maybe from your Google review, Facebook reviews, or whatever people left online, you know. Obviously, don't make this up. Don't come up with things on your own. These have to be real testimonials, obviously, you know. And then you will change the image here, and then decide what size image it is, full, medium. So keep it full for this. Put the name. You can have a title as well. And you can even link that to their website if you have a link, an actual link to their own website, you know. And you can do the same with those 3. And that's basically it for the testimonial section. Now, if you wanted to add more than 3, you can always hover on top of the column here, right click, duplicate. And as you can see, now you have 4 of them. Now, let's say you wanted to remove one. Well, that's the opposite. Obviously, hover on top of the column here and then delete. And that's basically it. Okay. And then underneath we have our call to action section. So here you can use this to promote different things. Obviously, maybe you want to emphasize the fact that you have a coupon code that's available, maybe 20% off your first order. Maybe you want to emphasize that you have maybe a special offer at the moment on specific items. You want to bring them to a specific category or whatever it is really, you know. So feel free to play around. So first you can change the background image. So in our case here, let's pretend that you have a coupon code that gives them access to 20% discount at checkout, but only for the postcard categories. Okay, so first we can change the background image here. Maybe something that looks like a postcard. So I found one online. So let's try this out. Okay, so this is not too bad. And now we can change our message, obviously, you know. So here we're going to change this to perhaps get 20% discount on postcards. And here the subheading could be the condition. So perhaps something like this, you know, only available with your first order with us. And this is very clear. Now, as you can see, there's not much contrast. Again, you might want to change the color of the text. Maybe let's try white. Okay, and add maybe a bit of shadow effect. And there you go. This is better already. And obviously here our call to action button should be changed to something else. So this should bring us normally to, again, our shopping page altogether. Okay, so right click on this, copy link address. And again, instead of the hashtag, paste it here. So this is fine. And now we're going to create our coupon code, obviously. Okay, so for this, we go back to our WordPress dashboard. And we go to the marketing section here. So you have WooCommerce, product, analytics, and marketing. These are all related to WooCommerce, but in the marketing section, you have the coupons, okay? Click on this, and now we can create our first coupon. So let's click on this. So the first thing here is the coupon code. So you can generate a coupon code, a random one like you see here, or you can type your own. So maybe post 20 for postcards, 20 maybe, okay? You can put the description here just for yourself as well. So 20% off postcards with first order. Okay, so what type of discount is this? Is it a fixed card discount? So maybe $10 discount at checkout, maybe per product, $2.50 per product. In our case, it'd be a percentage discount. So what's the percentage? We said 20%. Okay, do you want to apply this to shipping? Probably not. Shipping should be separate because you're paying the cost anyways, you know. And you can set an expiry date if you wanted to. So we just leave it open for now. And then you have the restriction here. So in our case, obviously, it'll be limited to only postcards, like we said. And then usage limit is only 1 per user, obviously, the first time they place an order. Okay, so that's basically it. So publish. And there you go. So now we can copy this, Control-C. And now we need to insert this on our page, okay? So maybe you can add this underneath this one. So only available with us with your first order. And then we can right click on this, duplicate. And instead of this, we're going to type the code, okay? So just like this. And then use code like this at checkout. There you go. And now we can maybe change the font size or maybe add a background color. So we go to advanced. Let's see, background here. We can add a color perhaps, okay, just so it stands out a little bit. Maybe something like this, okay, in red, why not? And then we can maybe bring this towards the middle a bit, you know. So for this, we go back to the top layout and we're going to bring this towards the middle here. So you cannot do it manually here, you have to do it from here, okay? So unlink those values and from the right, you're going to increase this. As you can see, this is going to bring it to the middle a little bit, you know. So you can do that in pixels or you can do it in percentage as well. So let's say maybe 30% here and 30% on the right. And there you go. So this is absolutely fine, isn't it? And you can add a little bit of padding maybe all around, a bit of spacing as you can see. It could be in percentage as well. So this stands out a lot more. And now click update and that's basically it. Okay. So let's move on to the next section now. So as you can see, a secure payment, delivered with care, excellent service. So here you can emphasize a few things about your business, you know, to build trust and authority, obviously. And that's basically us done for the homepage. That's basically it, yeah. So let's go back to the homepage, make sure everything is fine. So refresh and have a scroll down the page just to make sure everything is displaying properly. So as you can see, this stands out nicely now. And I think this is actually lovely. And now let me show you how you can add your logo here in the header section and also in the footer section. So again, for this, we go back to the WordPress dashboard. And from here, we go to Appearance, Customize. And right here, as you can see, if you hover on top of the logo, you have a blue pencil, click on this. This is where you can change your logo. So obviously here on top, as you can see, depending on the background color that you have, you might want to go for a white logo, maybe a colored logo, and maybe in the footer, black is fine, you know. So here on top, we might want to change the shade, the color as well. So I'll click on this. As you can see, I have a white version, a colored version, and a black version of the same logo. So this is really up to you. You might have to try different things, you know. So I'm going to skip the cropping here. So as you can see, this is what it looks like. That's not too bad, you know. Let's try in white. Skip cropping. Okay, I think that looks good as well. And let's try in black. So like I said, you have to try different things and see which one fits best, you know. I think that's okay, you know. Now you might want to change the size, obviously use the slider here. So this was a bit too big. So you could have it maybe in black or in white. This is really up to you, you know. I would keep it in black because the message here has to stand out and this is much better. So once you're done, don't forget to click publish. And then here in our footer section, you can also change it, but we won't be able to do it directly from here because this is using a widget. And for this, we have to go back to the WordPress dashboard. So exit out of this. And this time we go to Appearance, Widgets. Close this. And there you go. As you can see, we have the footer section here. As you can see, footer build widget 1. And this is our logo, okay? So now I'm going to replace this. Open media library. And you can select any you want, you know. It could be color or black. I would go with black, keep it simple, you know. But again, that's really up to you, you know. Select either of those. So I'm going to go with the black version here. So select, and there you go. So now you can change the size as well if it's too big, you know. Maybe about here should be just about perfect, and then update. And now let's go and have a look in the front end. So let's refresh. So we have the one here in the header section, that's fine. And the same in the footer section. And that's it, guys. We're done now.